trans woman, 3 years on HRT. My voice sits naturally high now. Soft, a little airy, the kind that blends into background noise in a crowded store. I almost never think about it. It's just my voice. It's just me. Before transition, I had this low, flat baritone, the kind that carries across a room without trying. I haven't used it in years. Honestly, I forgot I still had access to it. My throat doesn't like it anymore. Using it cost me about 2 days of soreness and a voice that sounds like gravel in a blender. I treat it like a spare tire. Technically there, absolutely not the plan. I stock shelves for a living, one of the major beverage companies. The job is exactly what it sounds like. I show up, I load a cart, I roll it down the aisle, I face products, I fill gaps, I move on. Rinse and repeat. It's physical, it's quiet, and on a good day, the only person I talk to is whoever's working the register at noon. I genuinely love it. I was deep in a Tuesday shift, mid-morning. The store was mostly empty. A few older people with carts, someone's kid asking for a snack, the ambient hum of refrigerator units. I had both earbuds in. I was not available. He showed up somewhere around the sports drink section, late 30s, maybe early 40s. Work boots, a shirt with a company logo on the chest, the specific energy of a man who has never once had his opening line ignored. He clocked me from the end of the aisle and walked over with that particular pace. Not fast, not slow, just deliberate enough that I caught it in my peripheral vision and immediately focused harder on the shelf. I kept working, pulled out a basing tool, straightened a row of energy drinks I'd already straightened. He stopped about 2 feet to my left. Hey, you're gorgeous, you know that. I didn't pull an earbud out. I didn't turn around. I just kept working. He waited a second. Probably expected at least a smile, thanks, something to reward the approach. When he got nothing, he shifted his weight and tried again. Long day. You look like you could use some company. Nothing. Now his voice changed a little, just slightly. The confidence got louder in the way confidence does when it starts to feel uncertain. Come on, don't be like that. I'm just being friendly. I pulled one earbud out slowly, turned my head just enough to confirm he was still there, then turned back to the shelf. He took that as progress. He actually took that as progress. He stepped closer. All right, you got me. I'll be honest. You are easily the best thing I've seen all week, and I'm not just saying that. I kept my face completely blank. Moved to the next section of the shelf. He followed, and that's when something shifted in my brain. I don't know what it was exactly. Some combination of being tired, being annoyed, and honestly, being a little bit amused at how completely unaware this man was that none of this was working. He had tried friendly, then persistent, then flattering. He was running a whole playbook on a woman who had both hands full of beverage cans and zero interest. I thought about just walking away, going to get more product from the back, waiting him out, but then I thought about the spare tire. I set the cans down on the cart, slowly, took a breath, turned around, and faced him completely for the first time. I gave him the biggest, most open smile I had, like I was genuinely delighted he was still standing there. His entire face changed, eyes lit up. He straightened his posture. He actually smiled back, this wide, relieved grin, like he'd finally cracked the code, like he'd been working on a puzzle and the last piece just dropped into place. He bounced slightly on his heels. I watched his confidence fully restore itself in real time. I let him have one full second of that. Then I opened my mouth and I reached down into the part of my body I stopped using years ago. And in the lowest, flattest, most bottomless baritone I still technically own, the voice that costs me 2 days of soreness and sounds like it belongs to a guy named something like Dale or Frank, I said, hey, you're pretty cute yourself. The smile fell off his face so fast it should have made a sound. He froze completely, like his whole operating system had just encountered an error it didn't have a handler for. His eyes went wide, then narrow, then wide again. He looked at my face, then down, then back up, doing math, running calculations, coming up empty. He took one step backward and hit a cereal display. A box fell. He didn't pick it up. He grabbed his handbasket off the floor where he'd apparently set it down at some point during all this, and he walked fast, stiff. The walk of a man who has decided that the most important thing right now is to not look like he's running, all the way to the other end of the store. He went to produce. He stood next to the apples for a full minute. I could see him from 2 aisles over. The woman stocking yogurt in the dairy section had watched the whole thing. I noticed her when I turned back to the cart. She was holding a container of Greek yogurt in each hand, completely still, staring at me. She slow clapped just once, very deliberate. I put my earbud back in. My throat hurt for 2 days. My voice came out rough and scratchy by the end of the shift. My coworker asked if I was getting sick. Worth it. Man wanted me to flirt back, so I did. I'm a trans